As we conclude, I want to address the question that naturally arises. What happens after the 7 days? This protocol isn't designed as a week-long fix, followed by a return to previous habits. Rather, it serves as a powerful reset that creates both physiological improvements and psychological insights about how specific habits affect your unique body. Most participants find that after experiencing the contrast between heaviness and lightness, they naturally want to incorporate at least some elements of the protocol into their ongoing lifestyle. The most sustainable approach typically involves maintaining the core practices during regular life while allowing flexibility for social events, travel, and special occasions. For example, Jennifer, a 41-year-old event planner, shared her long-term integration strategy. I've maintained the morning hydration ritual and lymphatic sequence daily because they make such an immediate difference in how I feel. I follow the eating window about 5 days a week, allowing more flexibility on weekends. The breathwork has become my go-to stress management tool during hectic workdays. And while I don't follow the complete sleep sequence every night, prioritizing temperature regulation has transformed my sleep quality. What's remarkable about this protocol is how it shifts your relationship with your body from adversarial to collaborative. Rather than forcing change through willpower and restriction, you're creating conditions that allow your body to function as designed. This fundamental shift often persists long after the initial 7-day challenge. The protocol also creates valuable self-knowledge. By systematically changing multiple variables and observing the results, you gain insights into your body's unique responses. Perhaps you discover that regulated eating windows make the biggest difference for your energy levels, or that lymphatic activation particularly impacts your mental clarity. This personalized understanding allows you to prioritize the practices that yield the greatest returns for your specific physiology. For those concerned about sustainability, remember that even implementing these habits cyclically, perhaps for 1 week each month, or for 3 days following particularly stressful periods or inflammatory eating, can provide significant benefits. Your body doesn't require perfection. It responds remarkably well to rhythmic patterns of rest, restoration, and gentle challenge. I want to acknowledge something important. This protocol addresses the physiological aspects of heaviness, but many of us carry emotional and psychological weight as well. While physical lightness often creates space for emotional release, some participants find that as physical sensations improve, they become more aware of emotional burdens they've been carrying. This isn't a failure of the protocol, but rather an invitation to bring the same attention to emotional well-being that you've brought to physical wellness. If you experience emotional heaviness surfacing during this process, approach it with the same compassion and curiosity you've applied to physical symptoms. Just as physical heaviness responds to specific practices, emotional heaviness often lightens through expression, connection, and sometimes professional support. The integration of physical and emotional well-being creates the most comprehensive experience of lightness. Some participants ask whether they'll regain fluid or weight after completing the protocol. The answer depends largely on which habits you maintain and which previous patterns you return to. The protocol doesn't create artificial or temporary results. It simply removes obstacles to your body's natural regulatory functions. If you reintroduce the habits that created heaviness initially, those sensations will likely return. However, most participants find that even a modified maintenance approach sustains much of the improvement. What continues to inspire me about this challenge is its accessibility. Unlike protocols requiring expensive equipment, supplements, or enormous time commitments, these 5 habits require minimal resources and integrate into most lifestyles. The democracy of this approach, the fact that it's available to almost anyone willing to implement it, aligns with my core belief that vibrant health shouldn't be a luxury available only to those with abundant resources. The feedback that moves me most comes from participants who had previously resigned themselves to heaviness as an inevitable part of aging or modern life. Mark, a 58-year-old teacher, wrote, "I had accepted that feeling heavy and sluggish was just part of getting older. After decades of playing sports, my body felt like it was filled with concrete. By day 5 of this protocol, I had a mobility and lightness I hadn't experienced in 15 years. It wasn't just physical. My thinking clarified and my emotional resilience improved. I realized I'd been living at maybe 60% of my potential capacity." This protocol isn't anti-aging. It's about experiencing your current age with unnecessary heaviness removed. It's about remembering that many sensations we've attributed to inevitable decline are actually responses to specific, modifiable habits. Your body has an extraordinary capacity for renewal at any age when given the right conditions. If you're hesitating about whether to try this challenge, consider this question. What would your life look like if you moved through each day feeling physically and mentally light? How would your relationships change if you weren't constantly battling fatigue and discomfort? What creative or professional projects might become possible with improved energy and clarity? What adventures might you undertake if your body felt like an ally rather than a burden? 7 days, 5 habits, 1 profoundly different experience of inhabiting your body. The investment is minimal, the potential return is enormous. Your journey toward lightness can begin tomorrow morning with a glass of water, a pinch of salt, and a decision to discover what's possible when you align with your body's natural capacity for vitality rather than fighting against it. I'd love to hear about your experience with this challenge. Share your before and after observations in the comments below. Document your journey. Connect with others attempting the same transformation. The shared wisdom and encouragement of this community can provide both practical tips and motivational support as you navigate this week of positive change. Remember, the heaviness you've been carrying isn't your natural state. It's an accumulation of modern living patterns that your body wasn't designed to handle. This 7-day reset simply removes those interferences, allowing your remarkable physiological systems to function as they were meant to. The lightness you'll experience isn't a temporary state achieved through deprivation. It's a remembering of how you were designed to feel. Your lighter self is waiting, 7 days away.